Hey chums, welcome to our very first podcast, which we've imaginarily titled A Game with Chums Podcast. Couldn't think of anything really cleverer than that. But yeah, this is our first podcast. I'm your host, Paul, the best chum, and with me via the magic of Zoom is the Honourable Mr. Roars. Mr. Roars, how you been and what have you been playing?
Yeah, got a lovely cup of tea because I know we're all about drinking beer, but it's like 2 PM, so I thought I'd have a tea. I'm British, on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to be here. First ever podcast that we've ever done.
First ever one.
We said we were going to do when we hit 1,000, so here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, first podcast. So what have you been playing, Mr. Ross? What have you been up to?
I finished because of Kill Army 2 and The Medium recently, which if you haven't played The Medium, I know you have. You did some videos on the channel for it, but anyone listening or watching, if you haven't played it, definitely check it out. It's very, very good. It's basically it's almost like a new Silent Hill game, but not from Konami. Yeah. It's really good.
I don't know if you saw the video. Like I kept mentioning the fact that it's got a fixed camera, third-person camera. I kept trying to move the camera, and I was like, oh yeah,
it's fixed. The first couple of hours, I'm like with the right stick, like, oh yeah,
it's fixed camera. But other than that, what else you've been playing? You played The Medium.
Yeah, I finished that last weekend, and I was kind of at a loss for what to play for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to give me shit for what I'm playing at the moment.
What's that? What?
Because, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition was announced recently, right?
Yeah.
And I got excited because I'm like, I love Mass Effect. Can't wait to play it. And it really got me wanting to play Mass Effect. It'd be a bit silly to start now when it's like coming out in like 12 weeks time. So what do you think I'm playing instead?
Are you playing Binary Domain or something like that?
No.
Is it is it Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it Andromeda?
Yeah.
Oh man, I give it shit, but like, I did actually get really close to completing it, and then I just stopped playing it because I was just like, I'm sort of just playing it to get through it. I wasn't really enjoying it, but yeah, that's fair enough. How are you finding it the second time through, Mr.
Ross? I think I got about halfway through it before just walking away from it, and I didn't like put it down in disgust or anything. I was just like, not really that fussed about it. But I think maybe now with lowered expectations this time, I'm maybe enjoying it a little bit more. Like, if it didn't say Mass Effect on the box, I'd probably be like, yeah, it's fine, it's a decent enough game. But the fact that it says Mass Effect probably drops it a couple of points.
Yeah, fair enough.
It just isn't as good. And some of the characters, like some of them I like, but some of them, oh my god, the character introductions, especially PB, I'd forgotten how bad that was.
Yeah,
she like runs at you and jumps on you from out of shot. And then like Liam puts a gun up to her and is like, get off the Pathfinder. And PB just looks around and goes, hey, you've come this far, just let it ride. And you're like, what? What does that even mean? And then make it worse, Liam's like, okay, puts his gun away. You're like, are they actually talking to each other? It's like she's having an internal fucking monologue going on or something. But yeah, it's a very messy game, but I'm enjoying it at the moment. It's kind of scratching the Mass Effect itch without having to play the trilogy and then replay it in 3 months. But how about you? What are you playing?
Currently I've been playing The Medium. I also did a video for our channel which was I put up yesterday called Monster Sanctuary, which I knew nothing about. I saw someone talking about it on a YouTube video, and they said it's like Pokemon and sort of Metroidvania sort of style. So I was like, well, that sounds interesting. It's on Game Pass, so I gave that a whirl, and it's really fun. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. Been playing Cyberpunk. Yeah, Cyberpunk. Been playing more of that, and it's had an update, so it's fixed a few of the bugs, improved the game, but it's also introduced a few more bugs. But I haven't encountered any bugs. It's really annoying because like what the version I'm playing is just the last gen version. It's not the optimized version for next gen consoles. So how it's running is supposed to be how it runs on the old consoles, but obviously the old consoles it just runs like crap. But
I think it's like Gen 9 aware, isn't it? The terminology they use, so you're kind of getting the 1X version, but with some upgrades because they allowed it to sort of use some of the horsepower of the new consoles. but it's not like the full next gen experience.
No.
Coming out sometime this year.
Yeah.
I haven't even bought it yet. I'm just going to wait until it apparently works.
Apparently works. Yeah, and other than that, this month, which is going to shock everyone, I decided to go without alcohol. So this whole of the February so far, I haven't had anything to drink. And oh my God,
2 weeks so far.
2 weeks. It's the weekends that kill, because I don't drink during the week because I'm working. But when it comes to the weekend, there's something to look forward to, because like there's nothing else to look forward to. I'm like, I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna buy like something online, like maybe some Japanese beer or some exotic beers. But now it's just like, oh no, I'm not drinking. I just drink water, or I don't even drink soft drinks anymore because it's just really shit for you. But yeah, other than that, really. Yeah. So
anytime I have like Coke or something now, I'm just like, God, this is so sweet.
Yeah.
What is this crap?
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, yeah, that's what I've been doing. And
you kind of touched upon what we're going to be talking about as
the main discussion is going to be,
you said there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll get onto that just a sec. But yeah, like nothing to look forward to. The only thing I get to look forward to is Amazon deliveries. I'm like, oh, I've got an Amazon package coming today. Oh, I can't wait for that. And you're just like waiting for the updates because you can track the drivers and all that. Like, oh, it's just that's the only thing I've got to look forward to. But yeah, like
I totally understand that. I ordered some books yesterday, and I'm like, I can't wait for my books to come, even though I've got books to read before those books anyway. But I'm like, presents.
But our first podcast is about what we miss and what we look forward to, what we miss and how we've been dealing with the current situation. Because normally what we do is we go to a lot of conventions, Mr. Ross, but there's no conventions because of the pandemic lockdown, and we tend to we're quite so introvert. I mean, I'd say that's a fair description of us. But we do like to go places where there's thousands of people. So yeah,
which is a no at the moment.
Yeah, so there's no cons at the moment, Mr. Ross, and at the moment we would have been going to a small con in North London called the London Anime and Gaming Con, which happens this month. So Mr. Ross, how do you feel like? You're missing the cons?
I mean, what are we in now? The third or fourth lockdown? I've lost count.
Yeah, there was a tier system, wasn't there? So things were slightly restricted in some areas of the UK. Like I think in London we were on the second tier, so pubs were open, but there was no mass gatherings allowed. There was a certain amount of fans allowed in sporting venues. But obviously that's all gone now because the cases just started to rise again, and schools were open. But there was still no cons because it's just too many. You can't have thousands of people clustered together in one area. But like, if we name the cons that we've missed so far, it's MCM, London Anime and Gaming Con,
twice.
Hyper Japan, and that's
actually twice. we haven't missed LAGC twice actually, because we did go last February, right before
that was the last thing.
I remember we were both a bit nervous about it.
Yeah,
like getting the train and going to a place, because it hadn't really, like, the whole coronavirus situations hadn't really.
It hadn't reached us yet, I don't think, by that point.
I mean, there were cases, but it was quite low level at that point, and nothing was in lockdown, and people were just like, oh yeah, maybe just be careful.
Yeah, the government sort of didn't do anything, did they? Just sort of like,
let the Cheltenham Festival go ahead with 250,000 people. Yeah. So that was the last con we went to, which was a year ago at this point, because it was last Feb. And there's a video up on the channel. Those videos always seem to do pretty well, especially when the con comes around. If you want to see what LAGC is about, check that out. We always put one up for that. But we've missed it this year. We missed it. Would have been July last year, the second one.
They have it, in February and July. So
we missed that one, and we're going to miss this one.
Yeah,
they missed MCM, which is winter and
they
summer.
Have it in May and October. There's Hyper Japan, and there's also, which just came back last year, was EGX. No, it was the year before, wasn't it? In 2009.
Yeah.
it was away from London. It went to Birmingham, then it came back to London, and now it's like as soon as it comes back, we went to one, and then the pandemic hit, and we couldn't go to it. It's
a shame because like 2020 would have been a good year for EGX with the new consoles launching. So I remember we went to the one in 2013, and it was like right before, so a couple of months before I think the PS3 and the Xbox One launched. So we saw a load of like next gen
PS4. PS4. Is it PS4?
Did I say 5?
You said 3.
Oh, I said 3.
You said PS3, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a couple of months before those consoles launched, and it was like we got to see a load of next gen stuff. We played a bit of Killer Instinct and a couple of other things. So it would have been cool to have it last year. But yeah, we're just missing out on all this stuff. And like you said, we're not the most sociable people, but we like going to like anime and gaming cons and stuff, and then down the pub afterwards to get shit faced. And that was kind of that was a lot of our sort of social calendar, and it's all gone.
Yeah. And we had the gaming market.
London gaming market.
London gaming market. And I had a pub right next to it, the London, which was imaginally called the London pub. But it was cheap, so it was good. It was right next to the venue. We buy a couple of retro games and go in there for a few cheap beers. But yeah, that's all gone. And at the moment, like we just stuck indoors. I mean, we sound quite like self-pitying, but I bet everyone's getting frustrated now. Like, I know we got to do our part, but it's frustrating when our government doesn't seem to know what they're really doing. They're making it up as they go along.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had
this from outside the UK, it's been a mess.
Yeah, I think most of Europe's been quite messy, but like the UK, especially with our bumbling prime minister, doesn't seem to know what he's doing. I mean, if we were living in New Zealand, I mean, maybe like life is pretty much normal there, but yeah, here
living well, and we'd have really funky accents.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, like
we're not.
So we're not. Yeah,
it's like you say, you just like. I mean, I'm saving a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm not going out.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm just like spending it on like books and anime and games and stuff that I probably wouldn't have otherwise been buying because there's nothing else to do. And you just like you're saying, you're waiting for Amazon deliveries, and it's like getting presents on your birthday or something, because that's about all you can do.
Yeah,
like the catalog.
Yeah, no,
and it is like I know like people have struggled more, and there are a lot of people have died around the world. I wouldn't sort of want to minimize that in any way, but it does kind of weigh down on you when you're not going anywhere. And like what it means for the channel, at least if you're a regular viewer, but we used to meet up every couple of weeks and like record videos like together
in the same room.
Play videos. Yeah. I haven't seen this guy in a year now.
Yeah,
an entire year.
I think the last time we did see each other was like, was it LAGC?
No, it was. We went for a drink. Near Dan's place.
There's a big fucking surprise, isn't there?
Well, ex chum Dan, who was on the channel in the very early days.
Yeah. He's still on the artwork as well, which we have to rectify soon. Erase him from the history. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a fight in the early March, I think it was, and we went down. You went to watch him, and then I met you guys at the pub afterwards. That was like 2nd of March or something like that. It was very early March. So pretty much like 2 weeks short of the year since I saw you last.
Yeah. So what do you particularly miss about cons? Like, what is it that draws us back to it so much? Like we do,
Part of it is like the fact that, I mean, a lot of it, like MCM especially, this is less so LAGC because it wasn't until recently 18 plus, but MCM, there's a lot of kids and sort of younger people around, and we're always thinking, man, it would be really cool if they had something like this when we were younger, because we were like mid-20s when MCM kind of got its start.
I think when I my first MCM, I was 21, it was 2003 or something like that. So yeah, I think you went to one like 2 years after or something. I think I went with you for your first one. But yeah, like long time ago. But sorry, man, carry on.
Yeah, we've always said, oh, how cool would it be like to have something like this when we were sort of kids and teens. So we were already well into our 20s, and we kind of like we've both been watching anime and playing video games since we were kids. Like I started playing video games when I was like 5, and first anime I saw was Akira in like it would have been the early 90s. I was like 8, I think. Just happened to be on late night on Channel 4 one night, and I stayed up and watched it. So I've been watching anime since like not far off 30 years. And we never had anything like that when we were kids. We just had to kind of discover things on our own. And we never got to kind of like soak in the, I don't want to say culture, because anime culture is very consumerist and everything, but we never really got to soak in the sort of community of it. So I think a lot of, even though we're not very social, a lot of what we get from like LAGC and MCM is just kind of being around other people that are into the same thing and kind of being immersed in it, and like, you know, walking around the stalls and looking at all the merchandise and stuff. We never had that when we were younger. So
yeah, to be fair,
it's
like
nice to kind of immerse yourself in it for a day.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been good, but as adults, we have money. Back there, as children, we probably wouldn't have had we probably like had £10, probably buy something to eat and really cheap like merchandise. Now we're older, we have money, like our own income. We can actually like spend and buy like actual like good.
We can actually see something we like and go, I'm actually going to buy it.
But if you watch one of our recent, I think it was our last Hyper Japan video we did, which I believe was in Kensington Olympia. That video was just us from start to finish, just drinking. I don't think there was much shots of the actual event itself, but we did advertise a lot of like different sort of alcohol, Japanese alcohol.
The whole video was literally, what have you got there? Oh, I've got a yuzu highball. What have you got there? I've got Kitagura lager. Yeah. And it was just, to be fair, there wasn't really a lot going on at that one. That's kind of why we were just bouncing from like bar to bar, because there wasn't really much going on.
Normally we also go to the we pay for the sake experience. But each year it's been getting less and less. Remember when we first went? Yeah,
we had a look at that one, didn't we? And it was like 4 tables, and they wanted 30 quid for it or something.
4 tables. So when we first went, it was like, it must have been about 30 tables, and each table had like at least 3 or 4 different variations of their company's sake. And they would give us a little shot glass, but normally they'll fill it up the top, and sometimes they'll give us a little like 2 or 3 top ups. And but like as the years progressed, we always went to one, but it was getting less and less, and they would only give you a little tiny
half a shot.
Like I was like, come on, man! I spent 30 quid on them to get there.
Yeah, that's the thing. The price crept up every year. Yeah, but the number of sake went down. Yeah, to the point where it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like 30 quid the last time, because we were like, no, I'm not paying that.
Yeah,
and we went. It was like 4 tables.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we go, we taste, and we always end up buying. So it's not like we're like spending 30 quid just to go. People go like, probably people might think, oh, all you're going there for is just to get drunk. But we're like, well, we spent like 30 quid, like 20 quid. Why not? Like, well, we still, every time at the end, we always buy like at least 2 bottles.
Right at the end, where they've got everything that you've tried.
Yeah. We always buy. Yeah.
We always end up buying something.
Yeah.
But that was like one of the main draws of it the first few times we went, and then it just kept getting worse and worse and more expensive. But that Hyper Japan in particular, there really wasn't much going on. Like I think there were less food stalls than normal. There were less like merchandise stalls. There was less like cultural stuff, and there were more places to buy alcohol. That was the main improvement, and that's basically what we did.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we went and they weren't allowed to sell alcohol anywhere.
Oh yeah. There was one place. There was one place that sold. One place that sold beer. Was that in the? Where was that? Not in the. Where's the dock? It wasn't in the Docklands one. The one in East London. It wasn't there. No. Was it Kensington?
It might have been at Olympia.
It was at Olympia. None of them. Like only one person had license to sell.
We asked her, didn't we? And she said, "Oh, it costs like so much to get a license. Nobody else bothered."
Yeah, yeah.
Last time we went, there was like 4 or 5 places.
Yeah, because normally they were having it at Tobacco Dock in East London. Yeah,
not a big fan of that venue.
Yeah, it was an open place, and yeah, it was really claustrophobic. And there's another venue. There's another event we go to, which was at Tobacco Dock. It was EGX. It was Res. Yeah, we normally go there as well, and that has it there. And there's less people. There was less people there, but at the Hyper Japan, they have Hyper Japan in the summer, and they have the Hyper Japan Christmas market, which is normally in November. They have that event, and in November it's bloody cold as hell, man.
It's a venue, but it's almost all outdoors, and all the units have their own doors. So in between like units, you're basically outside, and it's just like, can we not do this in a place with like a roof? So not freezing on that side.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're bitching about these cons that right now that we were saying we were missing.
Yeah, we went to another con not last year. It was the year before, which was also in East London. It was the Xbox XO19, and that had no alcohol. We were trying to find some place. We're like, oh, let's get a little cheeky drink, and we went. And you could have, if you saw our faces, we were just like, a con with no beer at all.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was in the video we put out for.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
We're like, there's no beer anyway.
I don't even think we could
have
left.
There's anything. There's nowhere around either.
No, it's like.
I mean, we had lanyards, so we probably could have left and come back. But
where I was like, because it's like a quite industrial area part of East London where
it's the Olympic Park, isn't it? So
yeah,
there's not really anything there.
We would have had to walk for like half an hour to find a corner shop. I don't even know if they allow you to bring alcohol in. I don't think they would have. They probably check your bags quite thoroughly. So I don't know why they can't let a group of adults. They had places to sell. They just weren't open. Maybe it was just too expensive to open it. I don't know. Maybe Phil Spencer's teetotal. He just didn't want.
Just deathly against alcohol.
Yeah, it's just like no, guys, I don't think so.
I'm not having it, and neither are you. No. I know those games of Chums, guys. They'll just drink everything, cause a scene.
Well, that is our motto, Mr. Ross. We play video games and drink beer. But yes, it's we decided to choose this topic because we haven't really because we're in. We haven't met up, and we just wanted to discuss what we miss during the pandemic, and we haven't seen our friends like Mr. Raws and our other friends for over is a year now. No, it's coming up to a year, isn't it?
It'll be a year in basically 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Another thing I do miss to bring up as well is the old what we've done for years, the old Sunday adventure.
Oh yeah.
Where we'd sort of meet up, have a wander around the nerdy shops, and then go get something to eat and have a couple of beers on a lazy Sunday.
Yeah.
Can't do that. You can't just meet up and go for a beer in the pub. Quite miss going to the pub, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like where we normally do it is a part of South London that's a bit grimy, like Croydon. But it does have a Heart of Gaming there, which we go into. Like a few like independent, like secondhand gaming stores. But they do have really nice they have really nice pubs, especially South Croydon.
And there are some nice pubs in Croydon.
Yeah,
just not much else that's nice.
Yeah, like South Croydon's got really nice pubs. Once you go like towards the library, like around there and further on, it has some nice pubs, and they're always talking about regenerating Croydon, and it really does need it. But yeah, we would meet up and buy some games, have a beer, have something to eat.
We were planning on doing a video, kind of not entirely around that, but like, so we were going to go to Play Nation, weren't we, and like set ourselves a limit and say, right, who can buy the best like retro game with X amount.
Oh yeah, it was a little. Oh crap! Yeah, that would have been an interesting video. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like Mr. Ross said, like we our videos that tend to do really well is the videos where we go to events and cons and go outside. And yeah, one of our ideas was to set ourselves a challenge where we each have a certain amount of money, and then we go and sort of buy a game for Play Nation. And
who gets the better haul?
Who gets the better haul? Yeah, that can't happen. But that would be a video that we could do
still
once,
do it when things return to normal.
Once things return to normal. Yeah.
On that note, maybe a bit more of a hopeful chat. Mm-hmm. When things do get back to normal, is there anything in particular you want to do? Something maybe we haven't done before?
God damn it! I'm the bloody host here. I asked the questions. Mr. Raws, once things go back to normal, is there anything you're looking forward to?
Well, I thought of this earlier before we started recording, which is why I sort of thought I'd nudge. But I'd like to check out some cons in other countries if I was able to. Like all the sort of anime channels talk about like AX in the US and stuff like that, and pretty cool to like do a long weekend in the States and go to AX or something like that.
I was thinking of doing that, but not going to other countries. I was thinking smaller, just go to regional ones. But yeah, going to other countries would be a good one. I mean, doing ones in America would be difficult because you have to pay to go to America and then get a visa and all that.
That's why I say like a long weekend rather than like a full-on 2-week holiday or something. Yeah. But Gamescom, I've kind of wanted to check out for a while, and that'd be easier being in Germany. That's not too far to go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd quite like to go to Gamescom. I mean, EA is the one that people want to go to, and yeah, I'd like to go to EA, but I think Gamescom is more.
Do people like to go to E3?
Well, it's the thing people want to go to for the.
And you said EA.
Prestige, I guess.
You said EA. You said EA. What's happening? Yeah.
Had any fear? That's what's happening.
E3.
Yeah, people want to go to E3 because it's the big show, because it's like the prestige show. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind going just to say I've been to E3.
Yeah, I mean like E3. If you want to give us tickets,
sponsor.
Hook us up, man.
Lights.
We'll sell out. We're shields. I'm kidding. There's the one in Germany, Gamescom. That looks really fun. And man, Germany. I've been to Germany
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, German people are cool. They're pretty fun. Got great beers. That sounds like a really good combination for us. So
games
yeah. So anything else, Mr. Ross? Or I mean, like let's what are we planning to do for the channel, for our YouTube channel? I mean, at the moment you've got Quantum Break Let's Play happening. Anything else you got? Like any ideas?
Well, I have my next Let's Play planned already, but I'm not going to say what it is. I like to
you have to tune in.
People.
Yeah.
To find out.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get more than 6 views on a video. That'd be great.
We also have another video planned. It's not necessarily gaming, but it's something that I think would interest a lot of people. Hopefully we'll have that video up sometime next month. Mr. Ross, I believe you know what it is. The
groundwork has been laid.
Yeah, I'm planning to revive our Twitch channel, because I was streaming on Mixer, but that's gone now. So we've had to go back, crawling back to Twitch. So that would be, hopefully I'll set that all up and we start streaming from our Twitch channel. And this podcast.
Decided what you're going to play yet?
No idea.
The last game you streamed was actually KOTOR, wasn't it?
It was Knights of the Republic, and that's, speaking of Knights of the Republic, is going to have there's a rumor of a sequel remake. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm not too sure if I want a remake. Maybe it'll be in the style of Final Fantasy, where it's not actually a remake, it's a retelling. Who knows?
Let's not get into FF7 remake. We'll be here all day.
Yeah, that might be an interesting podcast, man. Let us know if you want us to talk about. I mean, we did a video of it, which is in the a spoiler discussion once we both complete the game. So go and check that out on the channel. But yeah, that could be a future podcast episode. But yeah, I think at the moment we're still working out the format. If you guys want to leave us a comment or questions, leave us a question on our Twitter page, which I'll put the links up on this video. And this will be going out on Spotify. So if you just want to hear the audio version, you can just listen to that. But
I'm not going to see our faces though.
I mean, look at my shitty virtual background. I don't have a green screen, so the virtual background is really bad. So like, look at that. Once I get a green screen, it should take better because no one wants to see what's behind me. It's not pretty.
Yeah, we did. We did a little. If you're on our you're on our YouTube. You're watching this, I guess. But we put up a short trailer for this podcast a couple of days ago, and it was kind of like just a test run to see how things work. And I had like the virtual background behind me as well, and it just didn't like the way it looked. So I thought I'd just sit in front of Soldier 76 and Rem from ReZero.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that, but I would have to move my table and everything. It's where I'm sat up now is where I set up for work and stuff, working from home. It'll be slightly more difficult, but I think that'll be it, Mr. Raws. Our first podcast. I hope everyone enjoy. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the audio version on our Spotify account, which is a Game with Chums podcast. Check that out, give that a follow, leave us a review, tell us how bad we are, how good we are, whatever.
Constructive criticism is very welcome. Very welcome.
But with this podcast, we'll be doing a podcast every fortnight, which is 2 weeks. If people want us to do one a week, we could probably do that. It's more of the fact that we've got to discuss gaming events and whatever, like things like that. So that's why we decided to do a 2 week podcast. But yeah, anything else, Mr. Ross? What's your last leaving statement?
Final remarks.
Yeah,
just to say, obviously, like this is our first one, so we're gonna try and sort of learn and grow and hopefully make this better. And if you've got any suggestions, then please do leave them below because we're happy to sort of.
Maybe we will have a podcast where we talk about beer, our favorite beers, our beers that we like, different flavors.
Yeah, there's a 40-minute limit on Zoom. We can't do that. It'll be there. Yeah. Like 3 hours long. We'd have to do about 5 calls and stitch it together.
Right. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Bye.